6 Habits to naturally control cholesterol. Cholesterol is a type of fat that interferes with the cellular activity of the entire body. In certain amounts, it is necessary for the correct function of the cardiovascular system, the liver and the secretion of some hormones. So, you'll want to naturally control cholesterol. However, when too much of it accumulates, it becomes an enemy of our health. Little by little it can cause symptoms and illnesses that can affect your quality of life. The most worrisome thing is that it does not usually start with noticeable symptoms, and, because of that, it continually forms a thick plaque in the arteries that can end up causing obstructions. As a consequence, it causes circulatory difficulties and, if that wasn't enough, increases the risk of cardiac pathologies that require more attention. For this reason, it is very important to pay attention and, above all else, to adopt healthy lifestyle habits that can control it. We want to take this opportunity to share 6 recommendations that you should not hesitate to practice every day. Adopt an exercise routine. An exercise routine is one of the best habits to control cholesterol levels for those who suffer from high cholesterol. This activity helps with the process of removing lipid retention in the arteries while simultaneously helping with the synthesis of healthy fats. Also, it is one of the best practices for reducing one's body fat percentage, which is key for controlling this disorder. Ideally, you should dedicate at least 30 minutes to exercising, 3 times a week. Limit your consumption of foods that have cholesterol. Although a large part of cholesterol in the body is segregated to the liver, it is also absorbed through the consumption of different foods that contain high levels of it. It is important to identify which are the sources that have it and, of course, limit them in your diet. Be sure to minimize your consumption of animal products, such as red meat, dairy and butter. Avoid sausages, fried foods and any food that contains saturated or trans fat. Avoid cooking with refined or hydrogenated vegetable oils. Include omega-3 fatty acids in your diet. Omega-3 fatty acids are a type of fatty lipid that helps to control cholesterol and remove it from the arteries. This increases the levels of good cholesterol, HDL. These are not naturally produced in the body, but can be absorbed through different foods that contain it. The best part is that it helps you to maintain optimal energy levels and, in addition to that, fights inflammation. They can be found in cold water fish seeds, flax, chia, sesame, sunflower, nut sweet gem seafood, broccoli, cabbage. Increase fiber consumption. Soluble fiber is an essential nutrient that helps to decrease the absorption of cholesterol in the intestine, eliminating its accumulation in the blood. It plays an important role in the digestive process and, in addition to that, is necessary for optimal cardiac and circulatory function. Get this nutrient from foods like whole grains, fruits and vegetables, seeds and nuts, beans, algae, tubers. Add artichoke to your diet. Because of its high dietetic fiber content and antioxidants, artichokes have become one of the most recommended foods to control cholesterol. They contain a substance known as cynorrhea, which interferes with the synthesis of cholesterol. Also, thanks to its content of luteolin, it is a great complement for eliminating the formation of lipid plaque in the arteries. Among other things, it should be mentioned that it decreases triglyceride levels and fights liquid retention. It can be eaten as an extract as well as in tea, soups and recipes with vegetables. Avoid smoking. People that are accustomed to smoking every day have a higher risk of suffering from the effects of high cholesterol than those who do not smoke. Cigarettes contain more than 19 toxic substances that interfere with the functions of the body. This includes the reduction of good cholesterol. Its toxins affect our circulatory health and influence the accumulation of fats in the walls of the arteries. As we already mentioned, cholesterol is a silent enemy for our health that, when not under control, can have serious consequences. Try to adopt of the recommended healthy habits regardless of if your levels are high or not. And, control cholesterol once and for all.